Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today, as you already saw, it's all about imaging Jupiter. When I did this the last time, here you can find the link to the video, I used this telescope. It's this OTA to be precise. It's a 127 SLT Maksutov telescope from Celestron. It has a native focal length of 1500 millimeter, and yeah, it's just a great telescope for planetary and partly also for deep sky objects. It has been my main scope for planetary stuff. When I did my last video about Jupiter, Jupiter is behind some trees. Yes, I can see some bands. I also spoke about very cool features of Jupiter. For example, its fast rotation or period speed of about 10 hours for one rotation. There's another interesting fact about Jupiter. It consists of mainly hydrogen and helium. On the planet you will find a condition indicated as a triple point. I also spoke about this in my last video. What's happening inside Jupiter is that you will reach the supercritical point. That means you cannot distinguish anymore between liquid and gas. So when you increase the temperature and the pressure, it becomes supercritical. So check out the video. Very interesting. Anyways, when I did this the last time, I also spoke about how to process your image and so on. In this video, I will also partly cover image processing, but I will come to this in a second. Last time I was pretty happy with the result. So I was quite new to the hobby. I did not use any atmospheric dispersion corrector. I spoke about this device in my last video. I will also use, as I said before, this is an atmospheric dispersion corrector. If you're new to astronomy, astrophotography, that's actually two prisms which correct the color fringing, let's say. Because due to the atmosphere you have different diffractions of different wavelengths, and the atmospheric dispersion corrector can help to reduce this. So it's actually to compensate optical aberrations due to the atmosphere. I did not use this when I did my last Jupiter shot, and I also used a smaller aperture. Last time when I imaged Jupiter, I used, as I said before, this telescope. It has an aperture of 127 millimeter, and this one, my Newtonian telescope, quite new Newtonian telescope, has an aperture of 200 millimeter. So 200 millimeter aperture versus 127 millimeter. This has a focal length of 1500 millimeter native focal length, and this has a native focal length of 1000 millimeter. If you're using a telescope for planetary stuff, for example, the bigger the better. That means if you're using a telescope with a higher aperture, this will also lead to higher resolution. So I will hopefully be able to see even more details. And another fact which will hopefully lead to a better final image of Jupiter is the fact that Jupiter will rise higher tonight. So last time when I did the Jupiter imaging using my Maksutov telescope in end of 2021, the altitude of Jupiter was around 13 degrees. And tonight, using this scope with high resolution, I will also be able to image Jupiter when the altitude of Jupiter is around 50 or even 60 degrees over the horizon. Another thing which I also mentioned in previous videos when I spoke this quite new telescope is the fact that I used this and still using this with my HEQ5 Pro mount. And this is actually not a good combination because this telescope is actually too heavy for this mount, and it also has the surface or area of this scope is too high. So that means even if you have a slight wind or breeze, it will lead to shaking of the scope, and you have not ideal guiding and so on. Okay, this is for deep sky, but if you're using this scope for planetary, it actually doesn't matter. When you do a video of Jupiter or another planet, you can see it kind of wobbling because of the atmosphere and atmospheric turbulences. And in planetary imaging, you are using planetary cameras with high frame rate. And using the fast planetary camera, you can only select really the sharpest images in between of the turbulence. That's why it does not actually really matter which mount you're using, as long as you can follow the movement of the planet, for example. It actually doesn't matter. Tonight I will use my Skywatcher Explorer 200 PDS, my planetary camera, the CW0385MC camera, and I will also use an atmospheric dispersion corrector to counteract the atmospheric aberrations and so on. And I will also use a 2.25 fold Barlow lens to have a higher magnification. The setup of the scope I already showed you in my last videos. Now let's speak about image processing. You do your setup and so on, you connect your camera. For planetary stuff I love using Firecapture. And now I want to show you how the general software process looks like. You start with a video recording of the planet. You can either save it, for example, as an AVI or a SER video file. I use SER. Then you're using a free program which is called AutoStacker. In this program you will open the video file, and then this program will first sort your frames, single frames of the video, from highest to lowest quality, and then you can also sort out frames. You can even decide what percentage you want to stack of the highest quality frames, and this will, then the program will stack those high quality frames and will give you a TIFF single image. And then I'm using another free program which is called Registax. So here you will load your single frame from AutoStacker, and in this program you can really sharpen the image and the planet. And what I'm also doing here is a color balancing. And then you will get another TIFF file, and then I'm using PixInsight and Blur Exterminator as a plugin, which is not a free program and not a free plugin. And here I will increase the contrast, increase brightness, and do further sharpening using this plugin. And what you will get in the end is a single TIFF image. And later in this video I will also show you processing in WinJupos, and I will also show you a program which you can do kind of an impact detection. So sometimes, rare cases, you have the opportunity to image an impact on planets. And this is really cool. I will show you later. And here we are in Firecapture. It's a free program which I really love to use planetary stuff. I'm just increasing the exposure time and gain a little bit here. There's a really cool feature in Firecapture where you can center the planet. So actually due to atmosphere it's kind of wobbling and so on. And if you press here, you can really see that it's centered in the middle. Now you can create a video, for example, of Jupiter. You can either say, yeah, I want the video to have, let's say, 5,000 frames, or you can set a certain duration of videos, let's say 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and so on. In addition, you have a tool in Firecapture for your atmospheric dispersion corrector. Here you can see two circles, a blue one and a red one. Once they are perfectly aligned, that means your setting of your ADC is very good and you're ready to go. Let's say you want to see Jupiter rotating because it has a fast rotation speed of around 10 hours for one rotation. From one video you will get one final image. And due to the fast rotation speed, it's possible to see or make final video of Jupiter rotating. And this is exactly what I did. So I did, I think, 130 videos, single videos, using this sequence generator. So 1000 frames, 2 seconds pause in between for saving and so on. And then you do another video, pause, and again and again. If you do the sequence, you would have a quite smooth rotation of this planet. And another thing which is actually really hard to do from experience is to have always the same focus. This is really, really hard. What I'm doing is I increase the image in Firecapture, and then I really concentrate or focus on very slight details. So not on bigger structures or details, let's say, but really on things you can only see if you have perfect focus, if you want to call it perfect focus. And then you can, during the night, you can try to have the same focus, because you always can see very weak details and so on. I hope you know what I mean. So the aim is actually really in the end to have always the same focus, which is really not easy. And now I want to show you my final images of each and every software processing in between. I started with my raw video material. Then I did stacking and processing in AutoStacker. Then I used Registacks to increase sharpness and auto balance. And in the end, I also used PixInsight and Blur Exterminator to do further processing, sharpening, and a little bit of curve and balance, as increasing the contrast and so on, colors a little bit. I was actually really happy with my final image, first final image, and actually I was quite lucky with the seeing conditions, I guess. If I learned one thing in astrophotography is that it's really amazing how many or what degree of details you can achieve using modern software. I mean, it's really, would you really expect to get from this video such a great final image with such a high degree of details and so on, and color and so on? It's really amazing. It's still a process for me, learning this in PixInsight and also in Registacks and so on. Really learn and train yourself using this software, and it's amazing what you can accomplish when you really know how to work with your software. It's amazing. When I was still recording and imaging and so on, I recognized something in my raw video file. And you can see this here. Can you see it? Okay, let's turn on the light. This is Io, passing in front of Jupiter. And Io is one of the many moons of Jupiter. You can even see the shadow of Io on Jupiter. It's really, really cool, I think. And I also saw that it's really changing during my recording and so on. This is really cool. How do I know that it's Io and not another moon? So here you can use Stellarium to simulate this. But this isn't all. If you take a closer look on my first final image of Jupiter, you can see that the edges of Jupiter are not as sharp as the center of the planet. Due to the fast rotation of Jupiter, you have kind of a blur. But using WinJupos, also a free software, you can do a kind of a de-rotation of Jupiter. I will just make it very short here. So first you set your target object, then you press here, and now you have Jupiter. And what you actually need is to have the orientation right. So you press here, then you go to derotation. After you set all the orientations of your single images, you just load it here by adding. You select all of them. And here you can see each line here indicates the different orientations. Then you just press here and it's doing its thing. And then you will get a final derotated image. This was my first image of Jupiter after processing in Registax, and then I applied WinJupos, and here you can see all the edges are very sharp, and also you have increased surface details. I really like it very much. First, I saw this impact detection software in a YouTube video of a talk on planetary imaging by Christopher Go. It's a free program. Just drag and drop your video file in the program and wait. After a while, you will get a report including images. And it's also possible to send detected impacts via email for further check, etc. In my case, the software did a great job on separation between Jupiter moon and the real impact site. Unfortunately, no impact on Jupiter has been detected in my case. The link to the software and the talk of Christopher Go you will find in the video description. In the end, after processing about 130 single video files, I was able to create a video. Actually, it's a video showing Jupiter rotating, and a really cool thing is that you also can see Io transit in front of Jupiter. And with this, I want to finish this video. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Clear skies. this is Io, and you can also see the shadow on Jupiter of Io. Io. This is actually Io.